coming up on this episode of Roots from LNER.
This time last year, I realised I was making my way to Everest Base Camp. I decided to sort of celebrate the end of Outlander. I'd do this journey. So we did a route that's never been done, which is about 20,000 feet up. Walked for about two weeks and then rappelled into the Khumbu Valley. And I had a fight scene with a man dressed as a bear. I had to lie on the ground on a night shoot. It was really cold. It was like -9 or something.
Oh, wow.
And they kept spraying me with water. And I was just in a shirt. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. We were actually in Oaxaca on a tour of mezcal distilleries in the middle of essentially a jungle. And we were completely lost on the side of a road. And Julio whipped up from some fresh papayas, these papaya margaritas in the back of the van.
Wow.
It was a great way to travel around. But yeah, we've had some amazing adventures.
Welcome to Roots from LNER. Dodge the traffic and dive into a good book. When you travel by train with LNER, it's freedom all the way. Hello there, I'm Jenni Falconer, and today on the show, well, we are joined by an actor, a producer, a best-selling author, a master whiskey distiller, and a cocktail mixologist. But out of all of that, I think his role as Jamie Fraser in a little show, a little tiny show you might have heard of called Outlander, that basically gave him international fame. It is the one and only Sam Heughan.
Whoa, good to see you.
Oh, it's so nice
to see you.
And you. I can't believe that, by the way, after all those years, Outlander, that's it.
Yeah, don't say that. I mean, yes, it is. It's over. We finished the last season, season 8. It's coming out in March of 2026. And, 8 seasons, 11, 12 years of my life, 101 episodes. What's an incredible show to be on, an incredible journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts that it's all kind of that you finished it all, and we've not seen the final yet, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. We will discuss this more.
Yes.
But today, Sam, I'm looking at where we're going to. We're going to Berwick. Is that right?
That's right, Berwick upon Tweed.
Well, we'll find out why.
It is on the East Coast. Beautiful train ride going along the East Coast of Scotland. And I've done it a lot coming up from London up to Edinburgh, where I was born and raised as a teenager. And you go through Berwick, and it's just this stunning coastal part of Scotland, the south of Scotland. The south of Scotland is under explored. I think tourists always come up to Scotland and they'll go up to the Highlands and Islands and they'll go to Skye. Outlander has been very much a part of that journey in promoting Scotland, but actually the south of Scotland is incredible. So I would encourage anyone to go there. I've done some great runs in Berwick. We filmed Outlander there. There's this amazing old hotel, one of these old seaside resort hotels, that date back hundreds of years, and we used to stay there while shooting Outlander. And I'll go for a run along the coast. It's a bit blowy, but gorgeous, and it's got an amazing promenade. You can go there, and I just love watching, the weather roll in. Normally it's a bit rainy, but gorgeous. And you've got Berwick Law, which is this, I guess, sort of volcanic rock that just sticks out in the middle of Berwick there, and you can climb that, and it's amazing.
Oh, I mean, it is such a stunning part of the world. I mean, everywhere in Scotland's gorgeous. I mean,
It
not that
is.
we're biased.
Well, we are slightly the Scottish contingent here, but I mean, it is fantastic, and obviously, I love the Highlands Islands, and the Isle of Skye, I think, is a very special place for everyone. But I just recently opened my Galloway distillery in my hometown in Dumfries and Galloway, and it's just a part of the world that people don't really go to, but there's so much to see, from standing stones to amazing forests to hills. It's got incredible producers, and it's got the best coastline, amazing beaches, great wildlife. So yeah, I really encourage people to come go to Berwick or go to the west coast of Scotland and explore the south of Scotland.
Isn't it funny how so many people will go, oh, we need to go to the Caribbean, we want to go for a white sandy beach holiday.
Right.
But actually, you've got that much closer to home than you realise.
There's a story, and I don't know if it's true, but it's like one of these urban legends that the Thai tourist board were promoting this beautiful pictures of this golden sand and blue waters, and they were using a picture from Scotland, from the north of Scotland. I don't know if it's true, but actually, if you go to the beaches, you see the water is that amazing emerald, sort of greeny blue. It's so clear. I've been surfing in Scotland. There's a bunch of places you can surf. I surfed in the Isle of Lewis. We've got an amazing, one of those fake tide sort of surfing places outside Edinburgh. So yeah, there's so much to offer, and people don't really think about Scotland as a beach resort.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cold, I
And
admit.
that's it. The wetsuits are a bit thicker.
The wetsuits are maybe a little bit thicker than maybe surfing in Thailand. But yeah, I would say come to Scotland. It's an amazing wee place.
You see, you are like Mr. Outdoors anyway. You love being active and you like doing loads of different sports. I mean, I presume it's not just Scotland that you've travelled a lot around. You spent a lot of time travelling elsewhere too.
Yeah, I mean, my cocktail book actually talks a lot about the travels that I've been on. Those travels predominantly around, meeting producers or from Mexico to America. We've got a bunch of bartenders in the book, so from some of the 50 top bars in the world that have made some cocktails. But actually, this time last year, I realized I was making my way to Everest Base Camp. I did this incredible journey. I met this amazing mountaineer called Jake Norton, who was part of the team that found Mallory's body back
Oh,
in the
wow.
1990s. George Mallory in the 1920s went up Everest in his tweeds, and we believe may have got to the top of Everest first before Hillary and Tenzing. We don't know because they went missing, and they found his body in the 1990s, perfectly preserved. But interestingly, I'd always wanted to see Everest. It's kind of one of those mythical places, and I was going to do a movie that fell through. But I became friends. This is a very long story. Friends with Jake Norton, and I decided to sort of celebrate the end of Outlander. I'd do this journey. So we did a route that's never been done, 2.5 weeks through the Ampalazza Pass, which is about 20,000 feet up. We walked for about two weeks and then rappelled into the Khumbu Valley, which is a couple of thousand feet down, and then up to base camp. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. I mean, so many people celebrate kind of their rap event and party in so many different ways, but I haven't heard of many people that go, let's celebrate by going to Everest. I mean, it's quite novel.
It honestly was just, talking of travels, to land in Kathmandu. It'd been a whirlwind, finishing Outlander, and I'd been off to America, and actually went to the Formula One in Vegas. So quite completely different places to travel to. And then I landed in Kathmandu, and it's just this mad city. And then being in a very remote part of the world, sort of hiking every day with our amazing Sherpas and porters, and there's no phone reception, there's nothing. There's at some points there's no firewood, there's nothing, so you're just freezing cold. Your breath is freezing in the tent. You can't sleep. You're having hallucinations because of the altitude. It really took me out of my comfort zone, but also it's sort of a core memory that's implanted in me that I'm desperate to go back.
Yeah,
You have to do it.
I mean, it sounds incredible. Is what you see unique, completely different to anything else you've ever seen before?
Yeah, I mean, the journey itself, we started quite low down, about 9,000 feet in this sort of small towns, and then you go on this trail, and then you're really in the wilderness, and it is kind of like a lunar landscape. And of course, the stars are amazing. The moon lights the whole sky up. And then, yeah, you're really in this wilderness and those huge, famous peaks all around you. It feels otherworldly. And then once we got into the Khumbu Valley, it's a bit more touristy there. There's a lot more trekking camps that go there. So in some ways, it was quite nice to see other people and have a bit more, I don't know, comfort.
Yeah.
There are these little tea houses you can stay at rather than sleeping in tents. But yeah, and then one of the most amazing points was the last day we hiked up a peak called Kalapatar, which is opposite Everest. And again, that's about 20,000 feet. And you're looking at Everest, and that's another 10,000 feet above you.
Oh, wow.
And we watched the sunset, and it's like at the peak of Everest goes on fire. It's this bright red, golden, and then absolutely, absolutely freezing. You have to climb back down in the dark.
Wow. I mean, it sounds incredible. Is this kind of adventure part of you? Is this something that you've always had? Did you do trips like this in Scotland when you were younger?
Interestingly, we didn't really go on holiday outside of Scotland. My mum would take us to the coast in the southwest of Scotland, or we did go up north sometimes. But there is something, perhaps, that adventure that I think I could probably attribute to being Scottish and growing up in Scotland, because it's so easy to jump in the car or the train and go up to the Highlands, or find a hill. 45 minutes outside Glasgow, you've got, Ben Lomond and the Aracha Alps, which are, a bunch of Munros there. So yeah, and it feels like you're very much in the middle of nowhere when you're up on those peaks, and at winter especially, when they're covered in snow, you could be. It's like you're in the Himalayas. It really is. So I think something about living in Scotland, it gives you a sense of adventure. I grew up mountain biking and quite outdoorsy. So yeah, perhaps that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, I know you do. You like your motorbikes as well, don't you?
I do. I love my bikes, and I've had some great adventures from driving with some friends in Mexico. A group of us, we were on Harleys, and we were taken by our friends that own a tequila distillery up for breakfast one morning, a few hours up in the Highlands of Jalisco. And on the way back down, we went past a shrine, a death shrine to, I believe, a dead narco. And when we were there, we must have looked like a motorbike gang, because we saw some locals coming towards us in these blacked out vehicles, and we realized we must get out of there pretty quick, because I guess we must have looked like, some enemy biker gang. But, I've also been riding a lot around America. I did a trip recently. I hired a Harley and went from Miami down to Pensacola.
Oh, wow.
To the Key West.
Yeah.
And it's
along that road,
along the road,
long,
the long
huge
bridge. I think it's called the 8 Mile Bridge.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
And it's just bridge after bridge. You've got Key Largo, you've got Key West, which is
Isla and all those.
Yes, Isla is beautiful, and then Key West is a really interesting town. It sort of has all that history. It's, with, like, I guess, pirates, and it's sort of a seaside town. There's a lot of fresh fish and yeah, it's just incredible. Really cool.
See, this is the one good thing as an actor, I guess, that you get to, especially when you're doing a show like Outlander, which is using different locations, whether you're filming in Scotland or filming in Cape Town or wherever it is. I mean, you get to travel so much more.
Yeah,
It's kind of one of the perks of the job, I guess.
It is, yeah.
Although, do you actually see much when you're away working?
That's a good question. I suppose you are always working, but yeah, you're right. I'm lucky. I've filmed in Cape Town several times. Got good friends there, and that's a really amazing place. And you do, whenever I think you've got time off, you go explore, and that's a great place to go. I used to love every morning I'll go up, climb up Lion's Head. It's a small peak next to Table Mountain, and it's so stunning, isn't it? And at night time, when the sun is setting, the sort of clouds start to roll down Table Mountain like a big waterfall. It's amazing. So yeah, I feel very lucky that you get to travel so much with this job.
The thing is, as well, with what you do, I'm amazed that you have time for all the travel, but also for all the fitness. I know that you're really passionate about your fitness, and you've got your whole campaign, My Peak Fitness, and everything else about it. Why is that always been the case as well? Is being fit and being active just go hand in hand?
I think so. I think getting outdoors, as I said, growing up in Scotland, and I loved that idea that you can kind of go out and see new horizons, and that's why I created My Peak Challenge. It's a charity fundraiser, and every year we work with a different charity, and we have multiple charities we work with. I think we've raised almost $8 million now for charity, but it's great because our peakers, as we call them, they're just this amazing community, and just encouraging people to create a new healthy habit. So not only are you getting fit, you're also helping other people with this charity work. So it's been incredible and really rewarding. It's been 10 years now we've been doing that.
Gosh, it's incredible. My Peak Challenge, yes, that's it. So when you're into fitness, you're into travel, you're into all these things, when was it? Do you remember at what point or where you were when you were like, I think acting's the job for me?
Wow, I think it's always been part of me. I was very lucky. I born in the southwest of Scotland in Dumfries and Galloway, and I moved at the age of 12 to Edinburgh, which felt like the big city, the bright lights. And I guess there was a sense of adventure moving there. I felt, wow, there's so much to explore and discover. And I went to the Rudolf Steiner School, which I guess is quite a forward-thinking kind of creative school. And then I joined the Lyceum Youth Theatre because I was interested in it, but I didn't know I could do it. And I think that was it. Being around the festival and seeing all these amazing artists and musicians and actors coming in during the festival. And it allowed me to see a lot of works of art and great artists, and then also maybe perhaps think, maybe I want to do this as well.
Yeah. Because it's a tough industry. It is a really tough industry to break into, and also, to stay in as well. What was your first gig as an actor?
Oh, you put me on the spot. I think my first gig, to tell the truth, was, I think it was like a docudrama about Mary Queen of Scots. I think I played Darnley, and all I had to do was dance with a sword and Mary Queen of Scots. And I remember it just being very difficult because I had this sword that kept like banging into everyone. My first sort of proper gig, I was in second year at drama school, and I did some theatre at the Traverse Theatre, and it was called a show called Outlying Islands that we did for a couple of years touring. We toured to London and then to Canada, to Toronto. So I guess my travel started then as well. But yeah, it was a great sort of introduction to theatre, and my love is definitely why I started acting, was through theatre. TV and film was never really on the radar. So I've been very lucky recently to come back to it, and I just finished playing at the RSC.
I know, it's
Yeah.
I mean, what a special thing to do as well.
Yeah.
But it's 8 shows a week in Stratford-upon-Avon as well.
Stratford-upon-Avon, and we're doing. We did the Scottish play. I can say it, Macbeth, because I am, or I was, Macbeth, and it was incredible. The last time it was performed in our theatre called The Other Place, which is their kind of avant-garde, kind of experimental theatre. It was Judi Dench, Dame Judy, and Sir Ian McKellen played, and so it was very amazing to have the opportunity to then play it after them. And they played it in the 1970s, and then we did an event with them recently, I think the week before last, where they came and we did a Q&A with them, and just to be in their presence and to talk to them about theatre and about acting was incredible.
Well, they're British acting
Oh
royalty,
my
aren't they?
words, yeah, so incredible. And they both were extremely charming. And they both did a little bit on stage. I asked Judy if she could do a little bit, and she did a sonnet for us,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was heartbreakingly beautiful. And Sir Ian got up and did a bit of his one-man show, and he was amazing as well. So, yeah, there were a lot of ghosts in that theatre, and it was hard. It's a weird one. I never thought that play would be quite so consuming. It was very difficult, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
very
if you're
rewarding.
giving it your all as well, and I mean,
Mm.
what an incredible opportunity to play that role in that theatre.
It was. And actually also to be in that place, Stratford-upon-Avon, if you haven't been, is beautiful, very quintessential um, English town. And it felt great to bring this Scottish cast down to
Yeah.
England. But I actually had a motorbike when I was there. Very fortunate, Ducati lent me one. So I did a lot of travelling around and went to Warwick Castle, and the Cotswolds there is just gorgeous as well.
Yeah, really gorgeous. So look, we have to discuss it, because you were Jamie Fraser for
Yes.
so
Who?
long,
Right.
so long. I mean, is there anywhere you go now where you can just be Sam Heughan and have nobody kind of double look? Because I mean, Outlander's massive. It's massive.
Yeah, it is massive, yeah, of course, people don't know it, especially in.
Everest, were you okay there?
Well, actually, do you know, I was about to say, even in Nepal, in Kathmandu, I got recognised. It's quite funny. Yeah, it's always random when someone does recognise you when you're sort of not thinking about it. So yeah, I guess he's always going to be with me.
Yeah.
An iconic character, I think, and I think we caught something in Outlander that people really want to tap into. Not only this amazing love story, but this sort of historic or sweeping drama, but also Scotland. Scotland is such a evocative, tangible place. People are really interested in Scotland,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think I have Scotland to thank for it.
Yeah. From the minute it started, I mean, I was glued. I remember that, because the first series was a bit darker than the latter series. And I remember it had everything, whether you like romance or you want battles or whatever, it had it all in it. And it was really exciting to see Scotland represented on screen like that. It just looked amazing.
Yeah, and actually, you're right, and it did change a lot. And I think, that's down to, over 10-year decade of shooting. People's taste changed, but also the show moved to America in terms of the storytelling, but we were still shooting in Scotland, so it was kind of amazing to be recreating parts of America in Scotland. And the days when we had to get 100 Native American actors to come from Canada, actually, and recreate the Battle of Saratoga or whatever. Just so fun and really great for Scotland as well in the industry.
Sam, when you're filming in Scotland in the middle of winter and
Yes.
everyone's in kilts, oh my goodness,
Yes.
how cold was that?
Oh, I remember to this day, there was one, I had a fight scene with a man dressed as a bear, and I had to lie on the ground on a night shoot, and I think it was like it was really cold, it was like -9 or something,
Wow.
and they kept spraying me with water, and I was just in a shirt, And I was just like, this is ridiculous. It is very cold in Scotland, obviously, but the kilts keep you warm, actually. They
Oh, do
do.
they?
Yeah, yeah, I did miss the kilts after a while. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm not
yeah.
sure I believe you necessarily. And they say that Outlander has increased tourism in Scotland by 30%.
Yes, some locations have seen a huge increase, several hundred percent from, Curos to Blackness Castle, to Doon Castle, which has seen a really huge amount. So yeah, it's been incredible, I think, for Scotland. And, I guess one of the joys, but also now problems it's creating is that there's over tourism in a lot of places, as I mentioned, especially going up north. If you ever driven up to Skye over summer, it's almost impossible to get caravans and
camper
tours.
vans.
And so that's why I'm sort of trying to blow the trumpet for south of Scotland. There's so much to explore, and you won't get stuck in a traffic jam. And I was about to say there's less midges, but I mean, there's midges everywhere.
Midges everywhere
Yeah,
you
right.
go there.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, no, it was in lockdown now. You released your first book, Waypoints. You're back with another book now, but let's just have a little chat about Waypoints, because that was all about the West Highland Way.
Yeah.
How many times have you done that? Just that
Oh,
one?
just the once.
Just
Yeah.
just the
How
one.
many times have you done it?
I've done bits of it. I've never done the whole thing.
Ah.
I would love to do the whole thing. In fact, I was asked to run it, but it's a bit too intense as a run, I think.
I was asked to run it as well. They do, I think it's 24-hour run or something, which is incredible. And I have to say, it is totally doable.
You've got to have the weather on your
You've
side.
got to have the weather, but the bit that almost killed me, and I talk about it in the book, is the Loch Lomond section. It's horrific. One of the most beautiful parts is around Loch Lomond, but it's just up and down, and you're skirting all the way around the loch, and it's one of the biggest lochs in Scotland. It's about 20 plus miles of just up and down and rocks and scrambling, and I couldn't imagine running that, especially at nighttime if you're, exhausted. And so yeah, it was a really tough part of the journey for me. And the book Waypoints itself, was sort of the journey of Waypoints, but also, I guess, my careers growing up in Scotland and then becoming an actor.
I mean, it is. I would love to do that, but yeah, it's quite tough. I tell you what, when I was reading all the kind of experiences you had during that, it did make me think that you really have to allocate quite a decent amount of time to doing it properly, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I did it in 4 days.
It's 100 miles.
It's 100 miles. And I was, hoping to camp every night and be self-sufficient. And of course, after the first night, I was drenched. Everything was soaking wet.
And there are B&Bs.
There are B&Bs, and I realized that, and I was lost and almost crying. And I met this guy doing the West Highland Way, and we talked, and he got me through the Loch Lomond misery. And I stayed the night in the Drovers Inn, which is one of the oldest inns in Scotland, very famous and most haunted as well. And I stayed the night there, and I thought in the morning, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to bother with this. I'm done. And then I realized if I just leave all of my camping gear and stayed in B&Bs, it'll be so much easier. And then it was a completely different experience. On the walk, I was doing it. Fantastic. There's places to stay. I met a girl called Lucy, and she did it in 3 days.
Whoa.
So she's doing 33.3 miles, 333 miles a day on her own.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
That's impressive,
Incredible.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly mind over matter a lot of the time as well. You've got to really have your head in the game to focus on it. And
I think that's exactly it. And the same with marathon running. I think it can be a completely different experience if you're sort of counting the miles or trying to hit a time or trying to, I guess, not enjoy the ride, and that's what I realized doing it. If I forgot about trying to have this goal and actually just enjoy the journey, it becomes so much more enjoyable, and it was a completely different experience. And the same for running marathons. If you're, trying to hit, a consistent pace, or you're just doing it for fun, it's a completely different experience.
yeah, I last saw you actually, London Marathon.
That's right.
How was the race for you?
Do you know, just saying the same thing, I had such a great day,
Yeah.
and I know you didn't.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
felt
Sam.
so bad for you. I'm so sorry. I was feeling pretty terrible in the build up to it the week before. I'd been running. I felt really exhausted. My body was aching. I did a bunch of red light therapy. And on the day of the race, I woke up feeling 100%. I felt amazing. And I just took it easy, and I was like, I'm just going to enjoy this for the day out. And actually had a great race. It was a very hot day, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I felt at the end, didn't feel really like I'd run a marathon. It was
Oh,
strange.
wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That is how much of a machine you are.
No, 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 not at
I
all.
think so. It
I
was really, I just like to say it was a really hot day.
It was, yeah.
I did have a little incident where someone broke my foot, but I still did it. I still
You
finished.
did,
I still
exactly,
finished.
which is incredible.
However, I mean, when you go and do a race like that, whether you do marathons, I know you do a bit of high rocks as well.
Mm,
You get to travel around for that too. So it's
mm.
great to be able to travel with fitness as well.
Well, yeah, I'm always looking for something new, and I guess, yes, High Rocks is the new one. I'm not a huge participant in it, but I have entered a few, but not actually done them
Oh,
because
haven't you? I've seen. Oh, I thought
I
you
have done
had.
them. I have done them, and I've. But it's always that I'll book one. So, and it's a great way to travel. So I booked one in DC last year, and I booked them all over, and then of course work comes up, and you can't do it. But I do like it. It's nice to have a challenge and a goal in mind, and I'm hoping to do one next year. And I'm hoping to do the New York Marathon as well, maybe.
Oh, well, that would be good. Are you someone that looks out to get a PB or you just do it for the enjoy? I bet you are. You're
I
competitive, aren't you?
was, but now I can't beat my PB, and I'm really not in shape. So I think New York for me is one I've always tried to do. I've tried to do it about 5 times, and various things have happened. My first time I was there, Hurricane Sandy hit. It was many years ago now, and so it was cancelled, and it was awful for New York. But it was great to see everyone come together, the communities come together and help each other. I've had other times I had a pass to do it, and then a job came up. So I would love to do it. It's a hard one, I think. There's a fair bit of elevation, and the last part in Central Park, obviously great, but I know the hilly bit. There's a bit of a hilly bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough. So that for me would be just a fun one, I think.
Yeah, I think the crowd and the cheering and running through New York would be amazing.
It's one of the best atmospheres I've experienced. I've been there as a spectator, and I love New York. I'm going there on the book tour this week, and I love going back to New York. It's just a city that gives you so much energy.
Yeah.
It gives me energy, and I love running there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place on the West Side Highway, along the Hudson River, and you see over to Jersey City and down to Battery Park, and there's a Statue of
Oh
Liberty,
my
and
God, it's just so good to
it's
run around, isn't it?
great. It's like a free guided tour of the city. Yeah.
Mind you, whenever you're filming anywhere, do you make sure that you get up and go for a run and kind of get to know the area?
Yeah, I try to. It's a great way to explore. If you're someone new and you get lost, and then you find where you are again, and it gives you an understanding of where you're at. So yeah, and it frustrates me actually sometimes, especially in America when they don't have a sidewalk, because there's nowhere to run. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a great way to explore. I was in Australia recently, and that was so fun to run there.
Yeah, I bet. Right, we're talking about the book here as well, The Cocktail Diaries. You mentioned that
Yes.
you're off to New York. I mean, this book is beautiful,
Thank you.
absolutely gorgeous, and there's a lot of cocktails in here. I mean,
There are.
how many of these have you thought up, or have they all come from bartenders? Have you kind of like gone and spoken to people and got your favorites?
Oh, well, there's my signature cocktail. There's my top 10 that I
Yeah.
enjoy. They are all cocktails that I love. Because there are obviously so many and so many riffs. It's kind of infinite, really. Um, so I put in the cocktails that I like, because I'm not a mixologist. I am an enthusiast. So I'm not amazing at making them, but I know how to make, a good cocktail. There is a section from some of the top 50 bartenders in the world that created some cocktails first, which are some of them really complex, but really aspirational. But yeah, no, I mean, I've tried them all, and enjoy them all. But yeah, I just wanted to share, I guess, my love for, I guess, the creative side of making cocktails, but also the social side of meeting people, and whether it's, in Mexico talking to, the jumadores who, cut the agaves out of the field to, the master distiller, or sitting with a bartender in New York in Chinatown making a cocktail. It's so cool. Everyone's really enthusiastic, and I guess, yeah, this is my experience.
I mean, you've certainly travelled with this as well,
Yeah.
with booze, basically. I
Yes,
mean,
traveling with booze.
it's amazing, really, and you've got your own brand as well, which is doing phenomenally well as well. What was it that came first? Was it tequila? Was it the whiskey?
Oh, well, my first love, always the whiskey.
Yeah.
Working in Scotland, being there, and I was approached by a number of companies to sort of do a bottle with them, and I realized, no, I want to make my own. I was a bit of a fan of Asian whiskies. I'd been to Japan, also on promoting Outlander, and tasted amazing whiskies there, and I was like, I want to make what I like. And then in that process, we made friends with some producers in Mexico, so we did a small release with them. But Yeah, since then it's really grown. You know, as I said, we built our Galloway distillery down in Newton Stewart and Dumfries and Galloway. It's where I was born and raised. So using botanicals from there, my gin is all from Galloway. All the botanicals inspired by my childhood and growing up there. And then we just released our fine Scottish vodka, which is using all of the best produce from Galloway. So we use Galloway wheat, Scottish wheat, apples and brambles, which are then fermented multiple times. It makes this incredible, incredible vodka, which I think beats any other vodka that I've tried. Of course, I'd say that, but it's just such fun to kind of create stuff.
Yeah. I just imagine in your house you have just an amazing bar. Are you
It's
there? Can you do what they do
uh,
in TGI Fridays and you're spinning all the
bit of
bottles?
flair. No, I could probably juggle something, but no, certainly not flair. But my house is literally like a I know laboratory. We do a lot of tastings there with my master distiller, and I really like to go into it. So for like the gin, I really tried and tested it, from, I don't know, leaving it outside overnight to see what happens to the oils to, creating cocktails and seeing what they were like if the ice dilutes it too much or, I really want to make sure all of our spirits are definitely, a reflection of what I love and my palate. So, yeah, it's also kind of terrifying when you actually let people try them.
Yeah. Well, we need to see what their reaction is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit of a margarita fan. And in the book,
Yeah.
you talk about, is it the papaya margarita?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what's the story behind that one?
Well, so we all know the classic margarita. However, there's a modern classic. It was created by Julio Bergamo, who has a place called Tommy's in San Francisco. It's this lovely wee Mexican bar. But Julio himself is a walking encyclopedia of tequila. He is actually married to his beautiful wife, who's part of the family that owned Tapatio, which is an amazing tequila brand. And he created the Tommy's Margarita. And it's essentially replacing Cointreau with agave syrup. So good if you're a health freak as well. And it's just a really amazing way to, I guess, showcase the tequila you're using. I find people don't really know tequila, or we're getting to know better tequilas, but there are some amazing tequilas out there. So he created this tequila, but the papaya one, or this cocktail, this papaya margarita, we were actually in Oaxaca on a tour of mezcal distilleries in the middle of essentially a jungle, and we were very lost. We were looking for our friends who make amazing mezcal in the Los Altos mountains, and we were completely lost on the side of a road. And Julio whipped up from some fresh papayas, these papaya margaritas in the back of
Oh,
the van.
wow.
It was a great way to travel around. But yeah, we've had some amazing adventures out in Mexico. It's a really incredible place.
Oh, God, that sounds brilliant. And what's next in the empire, the Sassenach Empire? You're going to,
Empire of the
this
Sassenach.
is it.
Yeah, well, the vodka's just come out, and I'm really proud of it. It's fantastic. But yeah, the distillery is really incredible to sort of promote Galloway, to help try and increase industry in down there. We employ, everyone's local. The guys we'll work with. So yeah, I want to sort of share my love of that part of the world. And then obviously at some point we're laying down a lot of whiskey. And so in a few years' time, we should have our first single malt. But until then, we're still producing great spirits.
Yeah, I guess that's something that takes a while to create as well.
It does. Yeah. We actually have uh, hundreds of barrels already put away, but our oldest whiskey, should I say, is about 3 years old now. So it technically is whiskey, and we're allowed to sell it, and it is fantastic. I'm really, really proud of it. But I think it just needs a couple more years. But yeah, we're getting there, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. You're so busy. What is next? What is next career, and what is next in travel adventures?
Got some plans all coming together. I can't really say what, but there'll be a bit of travel. But I'm actually looking forward to being home and relaxing a bit after being quite so busy this year.
Can I ask, where is home for you?
Scotland, yes, outside Glasgow. It is home, in all sense of the word, and obviously my spiritual home as well, down in Galloway. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time there. We've got Burns Night coming up in January, but we do also have the Outlander final season coming up in March.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm sure there'll be a bunch of travel there, and I would hope we do something in Scotland. I'd like to plan something as well to sort of celebrate that, but also I know we'll be all over the world promoting it.
There's a spin-off of Outlander coming as well. It's like a
Yeah, it's
prequel.
already out, called Blood of My Blood. fantastic cast, and it's playing. It's about our parents, or my Jamie Fraser's parents. I think they're filming season 2 right now. We promoted their first season with them in San Diego recently at Comic-Con. That's one of my favorite places to travel to. It's so nice. I've ridden there a lot on my motorbike from LA. And we sometimes stay in the Coronado Hotel.
Oh, wow,
Hotel
which is
Coronado.
the-
Have you been?
Oh, I have been there.
I
It's
love
just
it.
absolutely beautiful. It's the famous Marilyn Hotel.
It is. It's the first ever resort hotel in America, and it's wooden. It has these amazing red turrets on it. Supposedly also haunted. I don't know if it's true, but it's on the coast there, and you've got amazing beach. But there's something about it. It has its history, and they filmed Some Like It Hot there. Lots of presidents used to stay there back, from the Kennedys. So yeah, it's a really special place, and great cocktail bars in there as
Well,
well.
it's also just around the corner from that really dingy bar where they film in Top Gun.
That's
Did
right.
you go there?
We talked about going there.
It was when I went there. It was disgusting.
And then we
Just
realized, I agree. Yeah,
fried.
we were like, actually,
Everything's
let's not bother.
fried. It's like Glaswegians would love it.
Yeah, it's like an old school bar. But there's again, cocktail bars in San Diego. Oh my God, there's some incredible cocktail bars there. There's one called the name of it. I can't even remember the name. It's something like the Spirit of the 27 something or others. It's in a essentially what looks like a bar, a pub, like a American beer bar. And you go through, and it's like a Chinese apothecary. And you go through the wall. It's like one of these, you press a magic button, you go through, and it's this incredible interior. The food is amazing. They do food and cocktail pairings.
Oh, wow.
And actually, one of the bartenders in our book, he created the Athol Bros cocktail, and he works in that bar, and it's fantastic.
Oh wow, God, you've got mixologists from all around
All
the
over
world.
it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's really fun to then go to their bars. We've got cocktail bartenders in New York and DC, and yeah, it's cool.
What a great way to research a book. I'm really sorry.
Yes,
For the book.
a lot of late nights,
I,
but no, it's great fun. And as I said, it's like a social thing as well. That because bartenders, what will happen is a bartender will make a cocktail or a riff on a cocktail, and they'll tell you about it, or you taste it, and then you go home and you try and make it, or you tell someone else, and then they'll make a riff on that. So it's like this ever evolving kind of chain of creativity. It's incredible.
I once had a cocktail at the Lanesborough Hotel, and the barman was telling me all about how they created the marmalade martini, which I noticed
Yes, the
gets a
breakfast-
mention.
breakfast
the breakfast martini, which has
Yeah.
marmalade in it, and that gets a
Mm.
mention in your book as well.
It's a lovely little cocktail, and really easy to make. And so basically, you use up your old marmalade jar. You get into the end and there's a bit left, but actually you don't have to use a marmalade. You could use jam or whatever conserve you've got at home, and you pour your gin in there. You'll shake it in there, so you're getting the pulp and the sugars from the marmalade or conserve, and then some lemon juice shaken up, poured over into an iced martini glass. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling it well.
Yeah, I'm thirsty now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Would you like some water?
Yeah, thanks.
That's all that I've got for you today. It's
perfect.
very disappointing. By the way, if you're on a train and listening to this, sadly, if you look at the QR code, there will not be any of these amazing cocktails that are brought to you on demand, but there will be drinks of some sort.
I'm sure they provide some sort of a canned cocktail, and they're getting better. Definitely getting better.
Yeah.
And actually, I've seen on the trains that they're doing a lot more kind of small batch spirits as well, which is really great.
Absolutely. Listen, Sam, it's been so lovely to chat to you on Roots today.
Been a lovely journey. Very, very comfortable on this train ride.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sam Heughan's new book, The Cocktail Diaries, is out now. And by the way, if you like what you've heard today, why not rate and review wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you give us a follow too. And you can look out for Sam's Quiet Coach episode, which will drop next week. In that, we will hear about his travelling snacks, tracks and hacks, and which places have inspired and changed him. See you then. BLT or G&T, with food and drink delivered to your seat, it's freedom all the way with LNER. Roots from LNER is a Distorted production.